Hi everyone, I'm Megan Sunland, and today I'll be telling you about 5 fairly common wildflowers that you can find at places such as your local towpath or park.
So our first wildflower that we have is called Spring Beauties. Here at the very base of the stem you can see there are two narrow leaves that are opposite, which means they come out across from each other. There's one there and the other one there. These are easily identifiable by their 5 white petals, and in these petals they have various amounts of pink stripes in them. And one last thing that's really interesting about these spring beauties is that they have pink pollen on their anthers. The next wildflower is called Mayapple, and even though it's not blooming right now, the main thing that I wanted to show you about this is its leaf type. It has a certain kind of leaf type called peltate, and that means that its petiole right here attaches in the center of the leaf. So that's just something that's kind of unique and you don't see a lot. Our next wildflower is called cutleaf toothwort, and it gets its name from its leaves right here. You can see they are teethed, and there's one of those deep cuts right here that it is talking about in its name. It's a member of the mustard family, and so because of that, it has 4 petals right there, and they're in the shape of a cross or a crucifix. Because it's a member of the mustard family, it also has a special fruit that's called a silique. That means it's a really long, thin pod that will contain its seeds. Unfortunately, you can't see it right now because it is still flowering. So next up we have the common blue violet, which is a member of the family Violaceae. This is a really cool flower because it is bilateral, or an irregular flower, which means you only have one plane of symmetry right there. It's also cool because it is a spurred flower, so you see this little ball-like structure back here. That's its spur, and that is where it contains its nectar. It also has some leaves that are kind of an original shape. They are either ovate, which is kind of like an oval shape, so bigger at the bottom, or they are cordate, which is kind of heart-shaped. So you see the leaves. This is a leaf. It's kind of heart-shaped there at the bottom. This is also pretty cool because it can come in this bluish, purplish color, but there's also another variety that you can see over here where it's more bluish purple in the center, and then it fades out to white around the edges. Our final wildflower is called bloodroot, and it gets its names from its bright red roots when you cut them open. This usually has 8 white petals, and what's interesting about these blooms is that they only last about 3 to 4 days.